So far, most figures inspired by Ratchet in G1 tend to offer the same basics. One figure, a blaster or two, maybe a few gear pieces, or some pre-posed hands, and that's about it. But if you're looking for far more, X-Transbots has come to your aid. Their unofficial take on the Autobot medic comes equipped with a whole toolkit of equipment. Stay to the end as we unbox and evaluate everything included and see whether it truly brings us to a whole new level. And here he is. Check out that box art. Looks like it's from the 1986 movie. Here, I'm opening him up right now, and here it is. Now. Wow. Comes with a lot of stuff. A lot of tools, gadgets. And there he is. That's how he's packaged inside. Look at all. Here is all the gear as how it's packed. Wow. Oh, huge. We have a whole bunch of gadgets, some blast effects. Look at all about pack inside. Let's see what we can do with these. We'll see what we can do with these later on. Here he is. As he came packaged. In fact, I'm going to move my camera up. And there he is. The figure itself. We see his two skis from that cartoon. And his sled. Which I think that's where we're going to peg in most of his accessories. Here we are, opening it up. And boy, again, there is his iconic sled, in which a lot of his tools is going to go in. And here is the figure itself. Here we are, undressing him from that plastic cover. And here we go. And here he is in his wonderful looking robot design. My goodness. I know this is an unofficial figure, but if I have to be honest, it looks like it is G1 Ratchet, as if he just stepped right outside of the cartoon screen. It just looks like a 3D version of how he looked like in that iconic cartoon. Taking out the head sculpt here. Just matching exactly as he appeared, looking at the windshield on his chest, the coloring of that windshield, it looks exactly as it did in the cartoon. Checking down towards lower body, I'm just looking at the material of it by myself. It looks very metallic plastic. We definitely have a very good amount of die cast. Look at that. Look at the back. That's just pretty much no kibble at the back. And just the aesthetic of his body, how he looks, matching right on as to how he appeared in the cartoon. On to articulation. His head is on a ball joint and can do a full 360. His arms can rise all the way up here. It can also rotate a full 360 at the shoulder. Each elbow at the arm can bend more than a 90-degree angle. We also have bicep rotation that can go full 360 too. Each wrist has a full 360 rotation as well. He also has stinging articulation. Thumb is on a hinge, though you do want to be careful as the plastic connection point there looks a little weak. For the 4 other fingers, the index one is separate from the other 3 and each have 2 points of articulation as well. His waist can also do the full 360 rotation, but the axis of rotation is not aligned well with the rest of the lower body. Now, that isn't a big issue for me. Even if it's somewhat rotated like this, his back does not look too bad. And so for me, it's not that much of an issue. Now, his legs can't fully kick up to about a 90-degree angle and backwards like so, except just a little obstruction by the back of the pelvic area. He also has thigh rotation on both legs. Each knee can bend backward somewhat more than 90 degrees. Now, each foot can't move backward so much. Obviously, I think this is to complement the cartoon accuracy of his feet. He does have a strong ankle rocket, though. Now, I know some of the windows are positioned beneath each foot, but you don't have to worry about the blue paint scraping off because there is a small ledge right below the front of each foot that prevents that from happening. Now, for the windshield wiper on the left foot, at least from my experience, that tends to be a bit more vulnerable, so you do want to be a little mindful of that as well. Now, to start off with his accessories, I want to start off with the 3 separate faceplates he has. And here is the 3rd one as well. And so if you want to change up the faceplate, you just need to be aware about what's at the back of the faceplate to see if it can fit, because remember, he also has different helmets as well, as we'll see later. Basically, what you want to be aware of is that for each faceplate, they have a notch right at the top, and just be aware about what's at the back. So those 2 faceplates that I showed, they can't fit on the helmet that he has on when you unbox him. So, but as you can tell, if you want to change your faceplate, you gotta first unpeg the front half of his helmet, and that you need to untab the faceplate that's attached via that top notch on the forehead of the faceplate. And that notch will peg into the port that's at the back of the top half of the helmet. So notice the ledges that are at the back of each of those 2 faceplates. Look what happens when you try to put those faceplates on. As you can see, the faceplate just cannot fit. The front half doesn't fully tab into the back half because of that obstructive thing that is on the back half of the helmet. And so the other faceplate, the one with the white eyes that comes separately, that can definitely fit in with the helmet that he comes with right after you unbox him. So right now I am attaching that faceplate onto the front half of that helmet, and to connect it back in, that top notch and the lower notch on the faceplate will go into those 2 notches on the back half of the helmet, and there we have it. Now, to change the heads, you just need to just unpeg it, just kind of wiggle a little bit, gently, however, and then each head has right underneath it some sort of kind of shaped notch in which you can just pour into the particular into the neck. And so it's just a matter of just connecting it, and there you have them, his with a new head. Now this time for this particular helmet, the one I switched it with, that can use the smiling faceplate and the gaping now the faceplate because that back half does not have, I guess, what you call something obstructing that ledge at the back of the faceplate. And so now you have him smiling. Now, here are just 4 photos of each of the 4 additional heads or helmets that you get. 2 of them are based on the Marble Conics, and one of them has a crest on it, and the other is based on the IDW Conics. Now, here he is holding both of his 2 wrenches, which can each be held with just a firm grip of his hand. He also comes with 3 blasters, and here is the first one. All 3 of them are painted in a very nice chrome silver, and for each of these blasters, there is a notch on each side of the handle so that you can peg it into either hand and have him use it. Further bringing this guy into action is one blaster coming with a red blast effect. And here is the third blaster that also can peg into either hand for him to hold securely. And we are not done with his loadout just yet. He also comes with a missile launcher that can attach to his back with these 2 notches. And you can also shoot the missile by pressing the button at the figure's right-handed side of the missile launcher. We also have 2 welding tools for him, each having a nice orange blast effect. One that can peg into either of his forearms, as you can tell, and there is a small hole on each forearm, and there's another welding tool that's meant to be integrated into either hand. Now, to do that, what you're going to do is open up the slot where his hand would go if you were transforming him, and then you would just peg it on to that open slot at his wrist area like so. And with this setup, we can have him doing quite some heavy duty work. He also comes with what looks like a wrench, but I don't know exactly what it is called. But just like the 2 wrenches, he can hold them reliably secure with the grip of his hand. He also comes with some sort of pen-like tool with a back wire to it. At least for me, it is kind of weird, but you're just going to have to insert the tip of the back wire into some opening on his back. And there's a notch on that pen in which you can also peg into either hand as well. He also comes with 2 shoulder pylons. Now, these were meant to depict Starscream being disguised as him. Now, I've tried hard to attach these, but they just do not even attach securely at all. And the Starscream head itself is something that, according to the instruction manual, you have to buy separately. But I, as of now, do not know where you can buy that head. If anyone knows, please do so in the comment section, and that would be great. He also comes with a sort of chemistry set, which includes 1 beaker, 1 flask, and 1 test tube. They are meant to be held securely by him, which is why each of them also has a notch that you can peg into one of his hands. And here are his 2 skis. Now, it looks like each ski would peg into the port in the middle of the back of his foot. The problem is that it doesn't attach very securely, and it can be a bit of some work to have him displayed on those skis. Though once when you get him there, it's pretty cool to see him, to see that as reminiscent of one of the episodes from G1. And finally, we have his sled. Now, the instruction manual isn't super reliable in terms of which tools go where on the sled. This here is just the best configuration I have. As you can tell, each of the 2 skis are basically stowed on either side. The blaster with the red blast effect is pegged on that very front slot at the middle front. The pen with the back wire is basically just resting around it. It isn't pegged at a particular place. Now, the one thing I'm not yet put on here is the missile launcher. To store it on the sled, you're going to have to use the same 2 notches that peg onto his back, and you're going to plug them onto that red port at the back of the sled like I'm doing right now. And there we have it. Now, before we get to vehicle mode, I do want to leave a cautionary note regarding transformation. In my view, I think transformation is the biggest issue for this figure. It can be very floppy and pretty tedious, so it is going to take a good amount of patience when transforming this figure. I think the biggest issue I faced in my experience was trying to get that left hand unstuck and out of its slot when turning him back into a robot. Just like for my last figure, I will make separate videos for transformation and will give links to them in the description below when they are uploaded. And here we have him, a very nice cartoon accurate vehicle mode that still carries a realistic vibe to it. Look at the shining silver tires. We see the same silver chrome paint on the front bumper and the headlights as well. The ambu rolls very well. Here is the car as it appears from the front, the left side, and boy, I cannot help but have this guy roll so smoothly. It truly looks like a collectible. Here is the back, and here is the underside of the vehicle and the top of it as well. The van, it gives a very nice cartoon vibe from the color of those windows and the color of the vehicle, while still blending in a realistic looking touch to it. So we not only have a figure that matches his exact appearance in robot mode in a cartoon, but also a cartoon accurate vehicle that, with a shining silver painting and the rear view mirrors, still brings out its value as a collectible. And so there you have it, X-Transbots Ratliff. Overall, I think this is a very good figure. If I were to give an honest assessment of it, I think this unofficial masterpiece scale take on Ratchet is the best out there so far. The aesthetic matches so spot on with how the character looked in the cartoon, and is still made of a nice mix of metallic plastic and die-cast metal. And you can also have even more fun with it, with a huge plethora of accessories it has. Now, with all of those high points, the biggest flaw is transformation. I know that a more complex transformation would make more sense if they were going for a masterpiece scale figure, but I am not really sure if it has to be as floppy and finicky as it is, and the particular issues that it can bring about, such as one of the hands being stuck inside the slot. And because of those issues, I'm going to have to give this guy an 8.5 out of 10. Now, if you are a diehard fan of the G1 cartoon, if you're looking for the most cartoon accurate rendition of Ratchet out there, I think this is the best one released as of now. I know that Fans Tours is coming up with their own take on the character that's set to be released very soon. I am not quite sure, though, if theirs will be this one. That one, as far as what we can see, uses translucent plastic for the windows, which is different from this version and somewhat of a deviation from the cartoon. I do want to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you think this is the best version out there? Do you guys want a review of the Fams Toys version when it comes out? Feel free to let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. If you found this review helpful and you're interested in picking up this figure, then I would very much appreciate it if you use the affiliate link in the description down below, as that will allow me to make more reviews like these. Don't forget to give the video a like as well. You can also stay tuned for more by clicking on the subscribe button, as that will allow you to automatically get notified of more reviews of upcoming figures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.